Hi there, welcome to Pilates in a Flash. My name is Jen. This is your 30-minute intense Pilates workout. For your props today, you're going to need a pillow and you're going to need 2 hand weights. So mine are 2 cans of coconut milk. Okay, so run to your pantry and grab your cans. If you have hand weights, they need to be 1 pound, 2 pound, or 3 pound weights. Please clear out your space so that your space is safe to work out in, and always go at your own pace. Today we're going to start standing up. So we don't need our props just yet. We're going to start standing up, okay? Take a nice big deep breath in. Settle those feet down on the floor or on the mat. Bring the arms up. Let the air out of the mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathe in. Bring the arms up. Okay, just feeling how your body feels today. Your feet on the ground. Breathe in. Let the air out of the mouth. I'm going to gently cross our arms across our chest. Breathing in, rotating our rib cage one direction gently and slowly. And then back to center. Nice big deep breath in, rotating the opposite direction. Back to center. One more time each side. Breathe in. Feeling the motion of the rib cage moving. The hips and knees, they stay still. Okay, go in the opposite direction. One side might want to rotate one direction, and then the other might not. That's perfectly normal. Okay, reaching up and over, doing a nice gentle side bend. Nice long, tall spine. Come back to center, up and over. We're going to start by moving through our feet first. So we're going to go from foot to foot, rocking from foot to foot. This is one of my favorite warm-ups. It's gentle, but then all of a sudden gets intense. So you're going to start to feel hips and side bum very soon. What you want to think about while you do this is that your thigh bones and your knees are facing in front of you. So you can look down as you land on foot to foot and push off from foot to foot. Your thigh bones and your knees are not opening up. And actually, your leg bones and your knees are fairly straight. So it's not hyperextended, right? But they're strong and they're fairly straight. So we're not bending too much from the knees. We're kind of landing as if we're kind of one piece from side to side, okay? Tipping from side to side. Now for me, I need to think about squeezing my bum cheeks together just a little bit. Squeezing them towards each other, okay? Not under. So towards each other, so that we start to feel a little more side bum and glute action as we rock from side to side. And then I need to think about landing on the outside of my foot and pushing off from the outside of the foot. So activating a little more of that side bum and that hip area. And so we just keep going here, rocking from side to side, from side to side. Good. We're going to add a little kick at the top. So my pelvis, my hips and pubic bone don't move. As I land on one foot and lift up the opposite, very small and slight. I don't care how high you can lift that leg bone. It's very small and it's just the leg bone moving. Okay. Again, we don't open the thigh bones. The knees and the toes still face forward. So you can look down as you kick. There's none of this swinging open action. Okay. It stays forward and parallel. And back to where I started, squeezing my bum cheeks towards each other, landing on the outside of the foot, starting to feel more work through the side bum and hip. Both waistlines stay long. I'm not crunching and I'm not lifting the hip to lift the leg. There's no moving through the pelvis. Good. We're probably going to go for 10 more here, unless you're truly on fire and you need to take a break, okay? Because these little guys are sneaky. Squeezing the bum together, landing on the outside of the foot for 4. There. 3. 2. 1 more. Good. Okay. Shake it out. Excellent. From there, we're going to do some squats. So we're just going to send the arms forward, send the hips back, bend the knees and ankles on the way down. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. We're going to go for 5. Okay, thinking about the tailbone and making sure that the tailbone is back out behind you. A little curve in the low back means you pull the belly button in. We don't want to squat with our tailbone tucked under, right? We want to squat with our tailbone back, moving back behind us. Good, we're going to do 2 more. One more, push the heels to the ground to come up, and now we're gonna come down and we're gonna hold. Okay, tailbone's back out behind me, I have a little curve in my low back. I'm gonna pull my belly button up towards my spine, and I'm gonna push through my feet in the ground. So really, my heels are anchored, and my balls of feet are anchored. Now I'm gonna do a little pulse, and I'm gonna move the arms as I do a little pulse. So just waking up the arms, the shoulders, firing up the quads, thinking about jamming those heels down to the ground a little bit more, but not losing that curve in the low back. Pull the belly button in. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise on up. Good. We're going to come back down. Arms in front. We're going to lower down a little bit, and then we're going to come back up. So that pulse, but it's a little bit slower. I want you to think about moving from the ankles as we do this. So we're lowering the shins down towards the top of feet, right? We are moving through the knees and the hips a little bit, but we're really initiating the movement from the ankles. The heels stay really heavy in the ground. They're going to want to tip off the ground. Don't let them. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise on up. Good. Okay. From here, we're going to grab the pillow, put it between our upper inner thighs. We're going to think obliques and moving that rib cage, okay? I am going to have my weights with me. So go down, grab those weights, come on back, okay? It's not necessary. You don't really need the weights, but I'm going to do it today. So I'm going to have the weights in my hands, and my elbows are at a 90-degree bend. I'm going to set on my knees. My knees are soft, and my feet are on the mat, and my feet are fairly close together, right? They're almost touching, so that the thigh bones don't have far to travel. All I'm going to do to start is breathe in and squeeze the pillow with my upper inner thighs, and then release. Breathe in, squeeze the pillow with my upper inner thighs, and then release. Notice if there's something else trying to squeeze. So like your bum cheeks, right? Your low back. I don't want that. I want that little curve in the low back, so I'm not tucking my tailbone under. And I'm thinking about my upper inner thighs, squeezing the pillow. Okay, so my knees are moving towards each other, but try to think further up the thigh. There we go, just squeeze that pillow. It takes a couple of reps to kind of find what I'm talking about. Okay, so now you're going to keep a little bit of resistance or a little bit of pressure on that pillow with the upper inner thighs. There's a little curve in the low back. You're going to pull the belly button in, and we're going to take our weights, keep them out in front of us, and all I want you to do is a small little thoracic rotation, so the rib cage moves over to the left. Hips and the knees and the pelvis do not move. You continually squeeze the pillow. Now pull the belly button in. I'm still going to the left. This is still rep number 1, and then I come back to center. Okay, elbows stay in. You can actually push the weights towards each other just a little bit, so you're squeezing the arm bones towards the body. Pull in the belly button, squeeze the pillow. Okay, pull the low abs in. Hips don't move. Rib cage moves. And so what we're doing are using our obliques, right, to help us move that rib cage. Our spine is working as well, of course, but our low spine is not. So there's no twisting in the low back. Okay, little curve in the low back, pull the belly button in, squeeze the pillow with the upper inner thighs. I have to think about it. There it is. And now I start to rotate to the left. Breathing in. Pull the belly button in. I'm still rotating gently and slowly. And then back to center. Can we go right? So I'm going to relax everything. Okay, notice everything is kind of working here. Try not to let your jaw and your neck work. Arm bones squeeze towards the body. Okay. Breathe in to puff out the ribs so your chest isn't forward, your chest is back. Little curve in the low back. There it is. Upper inner thighs. And I start to rotate, pulling the belly button in, moving towards the right. Belly button pulls in. I can continue to breathe. Squeezing the pillow with my upper inner thighs. It's so slow so that you feel side line of the body and abdominals helping you move your ribcage back to center. And you're not going to go far. I don't go very far. It's fine. I'm only going the range of motion I have. I'm not twisting past it. Breathe in, squeeze the pillow, upper inner thighs. Okay, arm bones squeeze towards each other. Whoa, as soon as I do my arm bones squeezing in towards the body, there's more abdominals and side body working. Okay, back to center. One more. Squeeze the pillow, shoulders down. Okay. Little curve in the low back is still there. I'm just rotating the rib cage one direction, going over to the right, continually pulling my belly button in. Don't lose the belly button. Aha, and then back to center. Good. So really just warming up through our obliques, teaching them to rotate our rib cage. Okay, getting more control through our rib cage. All right, the next step is going to be down on the mat, and I'm going to meet you there. Okay, so we're down on the mat. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. Okay, and we're just going to do cat-cow. So we're just going to round through our back, tuck the tailbone under, eyes come up, extend the spine. So we're just gently extending the spine. We're not letting things drop and flop down towards the mat. Okay, we're going to round again. Breathe in, pull the belly button up towards the spine, pull the ribs up towards the ceiling. Feel the shoulder blades separate and go around the rib cage, and then up we come. Top of the head shoots towards the wall in front of you. Tailbone shoots back behind you, and we drift the breastbone forward just a little bit. Good. From there, if you're comfortable, we're going to go to tall kneeling. Tall kneeling can be hard on your knees. If you don't want to do tall kneeling, you can always sit on your pillow. Okay. It's going to be less about the legs, more about the shoulders for you, and you can kind of just sit on your pillow like this so you're comfortable. Okay. Tall kneeling, definitely listen to the kneecaps. Okay. So I'm going to go tall kneeling. And so I'm going to have my weights nearby and the pillow in my upper inner thighs, okay? So the pillow just kind of squished right there. Move back just a little. Grab my weights, okay? So the pillow, again, is that activation of the upper inner thighs, thinking about pulling towards the midline of the body, okay? I've got my weights in my hands, okay? We're going to start to work the shoulders a little bit because today we've got some big shoulder movements. So I'm going to breathe in, squeeze my bum cheeks towards each other, fire up my quads and my hamstrings. So how do I fire up my hamstrings? I'm going to think about bum cheeks towards each other, then I'm going to push into my feet and my calves to anchor down and bring my pelvis forward a little bit, okay? So I'm not over-arcing my back to bring my pelvis into this neutral position, but I'm thinking about using my muscles in my back of my legs, my hamstrings, my glutes to help that pelvis forward. From here, arms come up, shoulders down. We're just going to tap the cans together, and then open on up. Tap the cans together and then open on up, okay? We're thinking as we do this, the shoulder blades move on the back. So shoulder blades are moving, and as the cans come together, I'm giving this little beach ball a hug. So I'm thinking about squeezing from underneath the arms for 5. You should feel abdominals, pull them in. 4, squeeze the imaginary beach ball. Good, okay. So you feel underarms. 3, good. Bum cheeks squeeze together. 2, upper inner thighs. 1, good. Now we go overhead. So arm bones lift up a little, then come on down. Lift up and then come on down. I'm not shifting my shoulders. My shoulders don't move. It's the arm bones that move. So the shoulders stay down, yep, as the arm bones come up. Shoulders stay down, therefore I can't even tap the cans together today. Okay, breastbone is not pushing out in front. Breathe in and out. For 2, for 1. Okay, take those weights, arms just slide back behind and then come back towards the hips. So we're just doing a shoulder extension, but we're not moving our spine. It's the arm bones that are moving. They squeeze in towards the body, they go back behind, and then they come back towards the hips. I'm gonna go side view on you, okay? So I'm gonna squeeze the pillow, sit up nice and tall on my tall kneeling, push into my feet a little bit, yep. My legs are shaking, shoulders away from the ears, arms slide back, but I don't let my chest come forward. My chest doesn't move. Arms slide back, triceps engaged, underarms engaged, back of shoulder engaged. Pull the belly button in. Guess what? The core is engaged, okay? We're gonna go for 3, belly button towards the spine, bum cheeks towards each other. We're gonna go for 2. We're gonna go for 1. Excellent. Okay, coming on down. Good. Okay, get rid of the pillow. We're gonna articulate our spine on the way down towards the bottom of the mat. Legs out in front, sit up nice and tall. Okay, curl yourself down nice and slow. And down we are. Excellent. Okie dokie. So you're going to put the pillow between the upper inner thighs. You're going to push into your feet and you're going to lift your pelvis up towards the ceiling. You're going to pause. Okay, pelvis is somewhat neutral, right? We're lifting like a plate. We're finding our feet, which we've already warmed up, hamstrings and glutes, they're on. I'm going to lower on down by articulating my spine down towards the mat. I'm going to lift on up and lower on down by articulating my spine down. I'm taking my time to move my spine, okay? Good, we're going to lower on down. That helps us land our spine in a more neutral position as we do our moves on the mat. One more time, lift straight up, and then from the top of the spine, lower down, the middle of the back, the low back, the belly button pulls in, the pelvis, the last thing to land. Excellent. Lift on up here, okay, and then halfway down and up, halfway down and up, halfway down and up. I'm going to move my feet a little bit closer together. I'm squeezing the pillow gently. My pelvis isn't rocking too much. I'm lowering it like a plate, then I'm lifting on up, okay? Push into feet, squeeze the pillow for 4, for 3, bum cheeks squeeze together and release, 2, 1. Hold it up here. Good. Give the pillow a little squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Okay, lower on down. We're not quite done with our inner thighs here. So our hands come behind the head. We nod the chin. And we're going to do a little ab curl. We're going to come on up in that ab curl. We're going to squeeze the pillow. And we're going to hang on to that squeeze as we lower on down. Eyes on breastbone, curl to come up, that pillow with a little squeeze, and come on down. So we're thinking, as I do this, I'm pushing my breastbone back behind me, so I'm curling to come up. I'm keeping a little curve in my low back. We're going to go for 5, we're going to go for 4, we're going to go for 3, 2, 1. Up you come, pause, bring the legs into tabletop. I'm holding here and I'm going to do a little tiny oblique twist, left and right. Squeeze the pillow, anchor the tailbone. There's a little curve in my low back. Pull the belly button down. You're going to go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Uncurl, legs go down. Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to take the pillow. I'm going to put it off to the side. I'm coming up onto my left arm. I'm going to roll my mat up. Okay, the bottom leg, the left leg that's on the mat is the most important. That's your anchor. Shoulders away from the ears. I'm just going to move my rib cage to start. So for those of you that have shoulder issues, this might be enough for that shoulder joint, that left shoulder. So don't push your shoulder to come up into side bridge. If there's any pain, any tweaks in the shoulder, please stop. What you need to remember is that the breastbone needs to be back. There needs to be a little curve in the low back. The bum cheeks work towards each other, so we don't shove the pelvis under, okay? I'm going to push into that bottom leg, lift on up, and then lower on down. Thinking about the bottom leg as my anchoring point, as well as my left arm and shoulder. Push into the bottom leg, pull the belly button in, squeeze the bum cheeks together, lower on down. 2 more times, lift. Lower on down. Good. One more time. Lift. Lower on down. Now I'm going to take the top leg straight. Here we go. Push into the top leg and the bottom leg and lower on down. Push into the top foot and bottom leg. Bum cheeks towards each other. Lower on down. We're going to go for 2 more. Lift. Good. Lower on down. 1 more. Lift. Lower on down. We're going to go scissor legs, okay? So that top leg is in front, the bottom leg is behind. Both legs are straight, scissor, hold, okay? So I'm squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. The quads are on. Hips are stacked. Breastbone is back. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Lower on down. Excellent. Good. We're going to turn around and do the opposite side. Moving just the breastbone to start, okay? So this is shoulder work, stabilization of the right scapula as outward rotation as well, okay? So we're thinking, my breastbone is not pushed out, Okay, so I'm trying to fill the back out so that the ribs are helping support my shoulder blade on my back, okay? I'm keeping a little curve in my low back. Okay, feet are flexed. Push into the bottom leg. Oh, arcs first. So we're just gonna arc, whoopsies, and then come back. So start with the arcs. Arm reaches up and over, and then come back. We're gonna go for 3. We're gonna go for 2. We're gonna go for 1. Okay, push into the bottom leg, lift on up, and then lower on down. Push into the bottom leg hard, pull the belly button in, and then lift. Aha! More side body, more abdominals help you. Push into the bottom leg, pull the belly button in, squeeze the glutes. There we go. And lower on down. Okay, 2 more. Good. 1 more. It's not just a shoulder exercise. It is a full body exercise. And if you lose it, come back to this shape. I'm going to lengthen out the top leg, push into the side of the top foot, and then the bottom leg. Lift on up, and then lower on down, right? Squeeze the bum cheeks together, stabilize the pelvis in neutral. Good, lift on up, and lower on down. We're gonna do 2 more. Lift, push into the bottom leg, belly button in. 1 more, up, and lower. Scissor the legs, top leg is forward, bottom leg's back. Now is concentration on the inner thighs. That helps me, okay, stabilize and use my obliques. So upper inner thighs squeeze together. There we go, hold. Squeeze the thighs, lift the kneecaps, bum cheeks towards each other. Breastbone, back, good. Belly button in, good. We're gonna hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down you come, good. Come into child's pose. Excellent. Okay, arms are overhead if it's comfortable for you. I'm actually gonna bring my arms down beside me so my shoulders aren't near my ears. Good. Excellent. Okay, so we're gonna finish off our shoulders here. We're gonna come onto our hands and knees. Tailbone is out, shoulders away from the ears, breastbone is lifted. I'm gonna sink my breastbone down and I'm gonna lift my breastbone up. Sink it down, breastbone lifts up. Sink, lift. 1 more, sink, lift. Hold that breastbone lifted, shoulder blades away from each other, wrapped around the rib cage. Tailbone is untucked. I'm gonna dig my toes into the ground, I'm gonna lift on up, and then lower on down. Again, it's not just about the shoulders. If the breastbone is lifted, you should feel the side line of the body and the abdominals helping you lift your knees. For 4, for 3, for 2, lift the breastbone. 1 more, lift, hold, step back, back, high plank, okay? Shoulders away from the ears, breastbone lifted, untuck the tailbone, lower the pelvis down a little bit. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Push back into down dog. Float forward. Okay. Stay lifted and strong. Push back into down dog. Float forward. Breastbone is still lifted away from the floor. Push into the first finger and the thumb. Pull the shoulder blades away. Okay, come on down. Shake out those hands. Scratch your nose. We're going to do glutes and then we're going to come back to this plank series, okay? So we're going to lay on our side. Top leg is long. I'm on my right side. Bottom leg is bent. Lift and lower that top leg. Okay, waistline is off the mat. Hips are stacked. My toe is facing forward. My knee is facing forward. Good. We're going to keep going here. So lift and lower. Eyes are forward. Okay, ears are back over the shoulders. When you look down, you can see the top of the foot, but you can't really see your knee or your calf. So you got to think, my thigh bone is back in line with my hip, not out in front of me, okay? And for this leg, for me, I need to send that thigh bone back just a little bit more. Good. We're gonna go for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Lift and hold, okay? Point and flex the foot. Point and flex, point and flex. Point and lift it a little higher. Make sure it's up at hip height. The hips haven't shifted.
Okay, so making sure that that top hip is over the bottom hip and there's space between the oblique and the mat. Both waistlines are long. We're gonna go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float the leg forward, float the leg back, float the leg forward, float the leg back, forward and back. We're gonna do 2 more, forward and back, 1 more, forward and back. We're going to circle, sweep down, up, slow down the back, hamstring, glute, and around. Swing the leg forward. Hips and pelvis don't move to allow that thigh bone to move forward or backwards. So your pelvis stays perfectly still. Put your hand there if you need to. Feel and make sure it does not move. Opposite direction. Kick back, up, around, back, up, around. 1 more. Back, up, around. Good. Okay, let it go. Coming back onto our hands and knees. This time we're going to be on our forearms. Okay, we're going to send the right leg back, left leg back into that plank position. Good. Shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze the bum cheeks together. Lower down the pelvis, but keep the breastbone lifted. There's a little curve in the low back. We're holding here. Thighs are lifted, kneecaps lifted. Excellent. From here, all I want you to do is push into your arms and your left foot and slowly raise your right leg 2 inches off the ground and then lower it on down. Push into your arms. Okay, right foot, slowly raise the left leg up and lower it on down. Good, we're just going to keep doing that small little walk for 2, for 1, 1 more to make it even. There we go, lower on down. Excellent. Swing around to the opposite side. Okay, top leg is long, bottom leg is bent, eyes are forward. Lift and lower that top leg. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Okay, catch your breath. Thigh bone is back. It's in line with the hip. Both waistlines are long and the hips are stacked. So making sure that the hip isn't rolled backwards. They are stacked on top of each other. So sometimes you have to move that top hip forward. Okay, we're gonna go for 5, 4, 3, 2, good. Hold it up. We're going to point the foot and flex the foot. Point the foot and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Leg goes forward, leg comes back. Leg goes forward, leg comes back. Leg goes forward. Hamstrings, glutes, pull the leg bone back. Hips do not move at all. Okay, well, they kind of move just a smidge, but we won't talk about that. They just try your best to keep the pelvis nice and still to move that thigh bone. Good. Okay, let's circle forward, up, back, around, forward, up, back, around. Okay, slow is always better. Don't rush it. A smaller, more controlled circle is the way to go. Keep it controlled. Okay, 1 more, opposite direction. Let's go back, up, forward. Okay, don't rock. Notice and feel any movement in the pelvis, especially at any point. Okay, 1 more, back, up, around. Excellent. Good. Okay, shake out that leg. Perfect. Okay, coming back onto our hands and knees. One last time here. We're going to put everything together, okay? Kind of all the plank series in a little bit of a flow. I normally don't do too many flows, mainly because they can be hard on our wrists, so you need to take a break if your wrists hurt, okay? So we're back to our ribs, okay? So we're lifting and lowering with our ribs. So we're just isolating our ribs, moving the shoulder blades away from the spine and then moving the spine or the shoulder blades towards the spine. I want my shoulder blades to be away from the spine, my rib cage lifted away from the ground, but I still have a little curve in my back, and you can feel for it, right? My tailbone is out back behind me. It's not tucked under, okay? Belly button up towards the spine. Dig the toes in. We're going to lift and lower to start. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. We're gonna do one more. Lift, pause. Send the legs back into high plank, pause. Okay, lift the rib cage up, lower the pelvis down. Now to come into down dog, we lift the pelvis up away from the floor so our pelvis doesn't tuck, and now we go back into down dog, ribs stay lifted, float forward, shoulders away from the ears, ribs lifted away from the mat, little curve in that low back, lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling slowly, then go back into down dog. Float forward, ribs lift back up, shoulder blades wrapped around the rib cage, lower the pelvis down, pull the belly button in. One more, lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Okay, strong legs, push back. Come forward, drop to your knees, drop to your forearms, come up onto the toes, pause, lift the breastbone away from the floor, lower the pelvis down, pull the belly button in. Slowly lift the right leg up, push into the arms and the opposite foot. For 3, for 2, no movement in the thighs or the hips. 1 more. Come on down. Excellent. Into child's pose, breathe. Good. Coming up onto your knees, crossing your arms across your chest, doing that nice thoracic rotation. Breathing in and out. Awesome. Turn and face you guys. One arm up and over. Do a nice little side bend. Breathe in. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you felt your abdominals and your thighs and your hips and all that stuff. And I'll see you again next week. Bye.